After James Gunn and Peter Safran would be hired as co-CEOs to take the helm of DC Studios by Warner Brothers due to the fall of the DCEU, we've gotten glimpses of what's in store for us as fans on numerous future films and shows from a variety of sources by insiders in the industry, pop culture sites, and even by the man James Gunn himself. And from the time of the DC slate presentation till now, DC's momentum in the news world had slowed down substantially. Until this happened.
That's what I'm talking about. This shit means something to me, man.
Production designer slash producer for the Spider-Verse movie series, Yuki Demers, released concept art for a Batman Beyond animated movie he and writer slash director from My Dad the Bounty Hunter, Patrick Harpin, have been trying to pitch behind the scenes to DC and Warner Brothers. However, for some strange reason, it seems like DC and Warner Brothers are still tentative on giving the potential animated movie the green light. Thankfully, Yuki Demers teased the concept art with the intention that appeal from fans would further solidify their pitch. And let me tell you, it clearly worked. Social media was filled with excitement as people were clamoring for more images, as you can just see how there's hints of what made the now infamous Spider-Verse so charismatic, mixed with the originality of how they would adapt a completely different franchise by incorporating the gritty, moody, neo-noir look of what a Gotham in the future would entail. And of course, my personal favorite touch added, remaining faithful to the original Batman Beyond suit, a suit that rivals any other superhero in terms of design and popularity. But even then, I can't for the life of me figure out why DC and Warner Brothers would still be so hesitant on pulling the trigger on this project. So in this video, I plan on channeling my inner CM Punk.
I am CM Punk, and I am the voice of the voiceless.
As to why Batman Beyond belongs in the DCU. Batman Beyond is actually one of the few prominent DC heroes or villains that was introduced to us solely through an animated show rather than the often traditional comic book route, with the previous character DC introduced to us in a similar fashion being the now popular Harley Quinn when she debuted in Batman the Animated Series. And when mentioning Batman the Animated Series, it's only fair we talk about the legendary trio that was Alan Burnett, Paul Dini, and of course Bruce Timm. After years working on the critically acclaimed show, Warner Brothers wanted DC to shift to a show that catered to an even younger audience than before, as they felt Batman the Animated Series was progressively becoming mature in its characters and writing as time went on. So leave it to none other than Bruce Timm and company to give us a complete new Batman altogether. Say goodbye to the Cape Cow and say hello now to the tech-centric Batman of the future, Batman Beyond. Above all else though, say hello to the man, or should I say teenager behind the mask, Terry McGinnis, as it was the first time we were introduced to a Batman other than the one we've always known in Bruce Wayne. And that dynamic is exactly why he fits perfectly in the DCU. With DC trying to take advantage of the whirlwind that the MCU has been lately, it's important now more than ever to target as many age demographics as possible. Something that Marvel and primarily Sony have been able to capitalize on so well with the success they've been able to replicate with a character in Miles Morales. If you would have told people at the height of the MCU's popularity that an animated movie franchise made by Sony focused around a secondary Spider-Man would rival anything that the MCU has done, they would laugh at you. What the Spider-Verse has done so far is nothing short of amazing, with both movies bringing in over $1 billion combined for Sony on a budget a little over 25% of that. Part of the success the Spider-Verse has had wasn't just because of its eye-catching animation. No, it was also due to its diversity in what it offers. That same eye-catching animation was kid-friendly too, but also targeted young adults with its focus on the struggles of being a teenager. And when you mix that with mature story writing elements, you end up gravitating towards adults as well. That brought a refreshing approach to the superhero genre that makes people want to go to the movies. And that's something that unfortunately DC and Warner Brothers have struggled with, as fans have reached their limit at some of the movies and shows that DC has released before the James Gunn era. I'm not even mentioning the games that have released as well. Fans lost faith in the DC product, and introducing them to a hero such as Batman Beyond, or better yet Terry McGinnis in this new era, is one of the best ways you can show fans that times are changing for the better. While I'd be a fool to say that DC can replicate the success Marvel and Sony has had with the Spider-Verse, I do feel like there's no character who fits that same formula more than Terry. And I think Yuki Demers knows that too, which is why he's campaigning so hard for this movie to be made. The Batman Beyond animated series already had some of the elements needed to make a blockbuster movie. I find myself to this day going back to watch the animated show, as no matter how old you've gotten since its original run, it never feels like it gets stale. The dystopian Gotham, filled with its ever so unique architecture, villains whose abilities and origins make you at times want more of them, and the suit, you already knew I was going to say that. The ironic part is not that many people know much about Terry McGinnis and the lore of Batman Beyond, but plenty do recognize that suit and automatically know where it's from. That's iconic. But if they dove deeper into the character that is Terry McGinnis, fans would love him. Terry didn't want to follow the same path Bruce Wayne followed as Batman. He wanted to go out with friends, meet a couple girls, and be the best big brother and son possible. He just wanted to be a teenager. His resistance to make the sacrifices Bruce Wayne once made had often caused a friction between the two because nobody ever challenged Bruce the way Terry did. And while McGinnis did seem to have a softer side than Bruce Wayne the person, as Batman he wasn't the traditional, honorable, isolated and stoic Bat we grew up with.
What are you doing? Fighting dirty. The real Batman would never... Oh, told you didn't know me.
This dynamic could lead to so many different avenues for DC though, when you factor in the potential marketing exposure you can do with the Batman of the future. From merch such as clothing, apparel, toys, to even potential video games, when you have such a unique character that can diversify your audience, it allows you to create longevity in their popularity and success. Now, when bringing up the idea of making a potential movie for Batman Beyond, it's important we talk about profitability. Not too long ago, Warner Brothers merged with Discovery, and the merger caused cutbacks on numerous movies and shows due to David Zaslav being brought in as CEO with a new view for the company after multiple poor box office performances from DC and other films released prior. So with movies under the WB umbrella now having a tighter budget, could they make profit from a Batman Beyond animated movie? The answer is yes, and I'll tell you why. When making an animated movie, your budget can be significantly smaller compared to some of these live-action superhero movies that have been released by DC and Warner Bros. In the past. Look at the financial success the Lego Batman movie had for them. On a budget of $80 million, the Lego Batman movie made nearly quadruple that. But do you know what movie had a budget with only $10 million more and saw even further success? Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So when you see that you've had similar success in the past with an animated film like the Lego Batman movie, and then you have someone in Yuki Demers who played an integral role in the success of the Spider-Verse knocking on your door, take that opportunity. To put it into context, not too long ago, Warner Brothers released League of Super Pets, and even saw a profit from that, an animated movie with the same exact budget as Into the Spider-Verse had. Hopefully DC Studios and Warner Brothers roll the dice on a Batman Beyond animated movie. I think with how much James Gunn is active on social media, I'm sure he saw the waves fans made after the countless posts he was tagged in regarding the potential film. I believe there's something special there with a character like Terry McGinnis and Batman Beyond, especially if done right. And with James Gunn during the DC slate stating that any voice actor who plays a character in an animated depiction will play that same character in live action if used, it may take some time until we see this movie on the big screen. And I'm okay with that as long as it's done right, as they may need to find a way they can fit him into the DCU, as well as possibly having to cast someone else other than Will Friedle as Batman Beyond for the first time if they decide to make a live action adaptation further down the line. But that's neither here or there. The point is, DC and Warner Brothers, if you want success, please listen to your fans. Batman Beyond is a character fans love just as much as the next hero, and that's why he belongs in the DCU.